Oh, good afternoon, everybody. It is Native Dave coming at you with another episode from Native Dave Talks. A lot has happened since my last episode. In July, I started a program with U of A. It's called a student's journey. It was pretty cool. I got to experience life as a student on the campus of University of Arizona. Um, And then also another event that took place is we moved back to the res. It's our second week down here, so in a sense, I'm back home, getting used to it since I lived in Tucson for like the last 5 years. It was cool living in Tucson, but it was too convenient. And I say that because we probably ate more junk food up there than anything else. You know how that goes. Being back home, one of my goals is to get back in shape, get get back out into the desert, start walking and running like I used to. So I'm looking forward to some things that I want to do now that I'm back home on the res. With that said, I'm getting ready to start up my fall semester at the community college here, TOCC, Tahana Autumn Community College. I should be done with my major by the end of the spring next year, so I'm looking forward to completing that. So wish me luck. I could use all the luck and good charms that I can get. I hope y'all are doing okay, striving every day in whatever it is you have to do to sustain your path in life. I know we all have our days sometimes and it sucks, but regardless, we gotta just keep doing the best we can and not let things get us down, which they will at times. I mean, I've definitely had my shares. It's always good to have someone to talk to. I know that's one of the things that I struggle with sometimes is having a friend to reach out to. Don't get me wrong, I have my partner. I love her very much. She's there. And I do have people that I consider friends, brothers, sisters in the scene that I've made good connections with. But I guess I still haven't established that part to where, I can actually reach out to somebody. But I use my outlets more so to help me release, and it helps, you know. But don't ever feel alone or that nobody cares, because I care and I know there are others that care as well. I'm grateful to be in the scene with you all. I've met some of the most caring people in the scene, and it's always good to see each other when we do. Speaking of the scene, we just played the Indigenous Takeover show in Tucson this past Friday, August 4th. It was pretty brutal. I heard there was like over 300 people that showed up, and it was pretty cool. I don't know how else to say it, but I saw many people that I knew, and of course, met some new people. I think that was like the highlight for me, was more the mingling part. I was able to mingle just for a bit, and then play our set, and then kind of check out the bands as well. I did love all the sets by the other bands. Speaking of that show, the Indigenous Takeover, I wanted to mention a couple of up and coming bands just to kind of, more or less give them a shout out for taking this step. But one is Creatures. They haven't played yet, but they're establishing themselves. I met these guys in the crowd as we were waiting to see Ju open up the show. Creatures are from various areas, I believe, from Dawn Autumn, but reside in Tucson. And while I was talking with them, they play death metal, mostly a mix of other things like speed metal, dubstep metal, black metal, and hard rock. It was cool chatting with them and hearing about their anticipation of getting out into the scene to share their music. I'm confident that that we'll be sharing the stage with them at some point. So here is to Scooby, Khan, and Hangman. These are the three guys that I was chatting with, as we were waiting just for the show to start. It was a pleasure meeting you all. Check out Creatures on Instagram at Creatures Band Official. It's one word. There you'll see more of what they got going so far. The second up and coming band that I wanted to mention is Domju. I used to hear that a lot when I was younger. The older folks used to say Domju, when I was hungover or when I would get caught up in things. It was their way of saying, that's what you get, that's what's gonna happen, or there's so many interpretations to that. But Domju played their first show at the Indigenous Takeover, and they were pretty cool, considering it was their first show and that they played first. So I remember those times, and I was just kind of sharing with them as well, just relating, to, or more or less reflecting back to when we started out, as every band, goes through. And they had some awesome crowd reaction, regardless of, it being their first show and them opening up the show. And they play a mix of death metal and hardcore metal, which I really like the drum grooves in their songs. That's one thing that stands out, other than, everything else. But I just noticed, like, there was a couple songs where that's a really good groove on the drums. I like that. Their next show is August 18th at St. Charles Tavern in Tucson with Flesh Mangled and Genocost. Now that's going to be a pretty badass show. I'm hoping to try to make it out to that one. Genocost is one of my favorites from Tucson. I've been following them since we first played with them at where was it? In Phoenix. Now my brain's getting kind of foggy. But I remember we played our first show with them in Phoenix about, 3-4 years ago. And definitely been following them since. Check out Domju though. Domju though. Check out Domju on Instagram at Domju Autumn, and that's also one word. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be coming around, so keep a lookout. With that, the Indigenous Takeover was one for the books. Thanks to Desert Dweller, Binom Piast, and 191 Toole for making it all happen. It was also awesome to see Ants Embraced. I love their style of indigenous black metal, and we will be playing with them again, which I was kind of chatting with one of them, and they just reminded me that we were going to be sharing a show on the 26th of this month, August, at Starlight Lounge. So I'm looking forward to seeing them again as well. It was my first time seeing Ceremented, and kind of feel ashamed to say that because I should have saw them many times before, but I was blown away by their sound. I believe they had like 2 bass players, a keyboardist, a singer, and a drummer, but the sound was like really heavy. And you can actually hear, the song, and I was just tripping out, like, what the hell, it was pretty cool. I need to see them again, for real. My gut friends and brothers in Health Room closed it out, but definitely had everybody engaged, and they tied it into some very powerful topics that we all related to. And I have more respect for them now going forward. Not that I didn't in the beginning, because when I first heard them, I really liked the style, you know? And I mean, what intrigues me, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is the meaning behind the band names and songs, and overall the passion that people share through their music. And that's the beauty of it all. It's an art of expression. It's a passion from like the hearts of musicians. And I see that through them. They are definitely one of my favorites as well. I've seen so many bands at the local level that I admire and I appreciate. And for that, you know, again, I'm just grateful to be a member with you all, you know, to be in these scenes, these local music scenes where we can share our music and appreciate each other's music as well. Because I have so many, I can't even, you know, it's gonna take me so long to name a lot of bands that I really love, you know, that I've come to appreciate in the scene. But check out Ceremented, Embrace, and Health Throne on Instagram and Facebook if you haven't already. They are a must-see live, so check them out when you hear about them. Shout out to Reservation Sensation Fry Bread for being out there selling their traditional foods. As much as I wanted to buy something, the lines were packed. We got there, and of course I did my thing, you know, putting my paint on, and then I can't really eat when I have the paint on, and I was kind of hungry, but I was like, oh, just wait, you know. So we went into the venue, and then we played, and then after that the lines were so packed. And anyways, I just kind of more or less started checking out the shows, and kind of forgot about my being hungry. So they were out there sharing their awesome food. But thank you for coming out. Reservation _ Sensation Fry Bread on Instagram. Good times though. And now off to our next show. We and Guardians will be at Starlight Lounge in Glendale on August 26th for the Rabbit Hole show, presenting Apex Nemesis. Also, I believe is I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, Vasendak, and Maganera AD, which I'm really happy to jam with again. Man, I haven't seen them in a while. And I love this band. Another band that I totally appreciate. I remember when we first played with them, it was it Gypsy's Roadhouse? One of those. No, it was the other one. Palo Verde Lounge. Yeah. And that's where I first saw them. We played a show and they were there, and I just, again, their sound too. I really like their sound, their style. So I'm looking forward to them. And then, of course, Ants Embrace. So come out and let's have a good time on the 26th. Kind of want to bring it back to what I was saying earlier. Life happens every day, guys and gals. And it's hard sometimes, you know. We just have to keep moving, somehow keep moving. And I say this because this past week there have been about maybe 3 or more significant deaths in our community that came as a shock, you know. And it's sad, and you know, it's sad because, you know, we always want to think that, you know, everybody's okay, and, you know, I guess we just never know sometimes, and sometimes like freak accidents happened or really just dumb shit, and you know it's hard. It impacts the community, and I did see some on Facebook as well from friends in the scene who shared their loss. So let us continue to stick together and support one another however we can. I definitely I'm available. I mean, I how do I say it? I'm always open if it comes down to it. You know what I mean? And you needed to talk, shoot me a message. I'm cool with it. I've definitely been in this role before, and it's part of my nature, to just be there if somebody needs that, that person to be by their side or whatever. I've been through many of those situations, and I know that if I need it, like that type of outlet or somebody to be there, I know that somebody would be there. So with that, everybody, much love to you all, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Let's continue on this journey together of life. Continue to share our talents, our arts, our hearts, and everything. So I look forward to seeing y'all again.